Good morning from the National Weather Service here in Pocatello. My name is Carter, and this is your Southeast Idaho weather hazard briefing for Wednesday, July 27th. Looking at some isolated dry thunderstorms for this afternoon, becoming more scattered for tomorrow, and storm shift for the east for Friday with continued warm and mostly dry weather. Be breaking that down for you this morning. Key points we're going to focus on today. Do have warm weather continuing through the start of August, so that's going to be the remainder of this week into the start of next week, with afternoon highs in the upper 80s to near 100 degrees each day. Light winds will generally be less than 15 to 25 miles an hour, slightly breezier as you get out towards Craters of the Moon INL area each afternoon, and associated with some of the stronger thunderstorms, mainly up to about 35 to 40 miles an hour outside of some gusty outflow winds. But with those storms, we do have the chance for some isolated storms today in the central mountains, becoming more scattered for Thursday. So for Thursday, those chances expand across much of these, northern and eastern higher elevation zones as a mix of wet and dry thunderstorms. Especially on Thursday, that's going to be increasing the fire start risk with a fire weather watch in effect for the central mountains and southeast highlands. Storms will shift east for your Friday with a dry weekend in store, and we do have the potential for some monsoonal moisture arriving for next week. And what that means is just increasing chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms across all of southeast Idaho, beginning as isolated storms on Monday, looking more widespread as we get towards Tuesday and Wednesday. Cooler, more seasonable temperatures are expected to return, so we're back into the upper 80s to low 90s, at least approaching that slightly below normal levels as we get towards midweek. Satellite this morning, just seeing a few clouds starting to work their way in through the Great Basin up through here, generally between 10 and 25,000 feet for these clouds. And we will have the chance again just for this afternoon of some isolated afternoon thunderstorms around the Wood River Valley and Central Mountains, and a few of those may spill out into the Snake Plain. Weather risk outlook for today, again, just carrying that chance for some afternoon thunderstorms for today with an air quality alert in effect through the remainder of the period for Lemhi County as a result of the moose fire currently burning northwest of Salmon. For Thursday, those thunderstorms do expand as far as coverage-wise goes, with that fire weather watch again in effect for the central mountains and southeast highlands. For Friday, we're seeing those storms shift further east, so afternoon thunderstorm threat does shift further east along the Wyoming and Montana borders with a mostly dry weekend in store. Take a look at your fire and smoke map for this morning. Do have the 3 fires currently burning here in central Idaho, the moose, wolffang, and woodtick, and all those are currently burning and growing. We'll have some California wildfire smoke trailing across much of the southern region today with the more local impacts from the moose fire and central mountain fires up through this area, kind of working its way out into the upper Snake Plain, Wood River Valley area, so you will see some increased haze and smoke as you head out the door. Take a look at where those thunderstorms are expected over the next couple of days. For today, it looks like just a chance for thunderstorms mainly across the central mountains, extending further east along the Montana border. Again, best chances for these storms, at least, are going to be in the central mountains, kind of around the Wood River Valley area, north and east, up through about Chalice and Salmon. But outside of that, may see a few storms start to work out into the Snake Plain, but chances for that are remaining minimal at this time. For Thursday, we're starting to see that coverage expand to almost all of Idaho, except for southwest and far northwest portions of the state. But for everyone has at least a chance, especially Pocatello, northeast, and everywhere else, as far as the central mountains, eastern highlands, and southeast highlands, especially in the higher terrain, a mix of wet and dry thunderstorms with potential red flag concerns due to those thunderstorms generating new fires across our area with lightning. Day 3, those storms are going to shift east along the Wyoming and Montana borders, and by the weekend, we're looking at high and dry conditions, so very warm temperatures. Continue through the weekend, approaching 100 degrees, as I said, across portions of the southern lower elevation zones around Pocatello, Magic Valley, and down towards Utah and Nevada. But outside of that, it looks like we'll be breaking down those temperatures, at least towards next week, towards near normal, if not below normal levels. Watches, warnings, and advisories currently in effect. So we do have the fire weather watch in effect for much of the central mountains and southeast highlands. And again, that's going to be for the chance for thunderstorms increasing, especially on Thursday. As you can see to our northwest here, large excessive heat warnings and heat advisories are in effect, and including Idaho. So the northern panhandle is under an excessive heat warning. A ridge of high pressure is established, kind of a northwest tilt here. So we'll be getting at least above normal temperatures, but nothing as far as the heat advisory or excessive heat warning levels as they are up here, as well. Temperatures are in excess of 100 degrees for large portions of the Pacific Northwest. Further south of us, we do have that flood watch in effect as far as for the southern portions of the desert Southwest. Monsoonal moisture impacts down there have been going on for quite some time, but will be shifting further north as we get towards early next week. High temperatures for this afternoon should be in the mid-80s up towards Island Park, but for everywhere else, it'll be in the upper 80s to mid-90s, approaching 100 degrees as you get towards the Magic Valley. For your Thursday, temperatures are going to stay fairly consistent. We're still looking at mid to upper 80s for our mountainous regions, and then as you get further south to the Snake Plain, Magic Valley, mid to upper 90s. For Friday, just keeping with that same trend, fairly consistent temperatures for the remainder of the work week. Temperatures again mid 80s to upper 90s. For Saturday, we're starting to see some noticeable increase outside of the chance for some afternoon showers and thunderstorms, with some of that cloud cover helping to keep some of those temperatures down. For Saturday and Sunday, looking mostly clear. So what that means is we're going to have those temperatures continue to climb, if not slightly more headed into the weekend, with temperatures in the mid-80s to upper 80s in the mountains and some mid-90s to near 100 degrees again for much of the lower elevation zones. For Sunday, keeping with that warming trend, looks like Sunday is probably going to be one of the warmest days of the whole week. So as far as that's going to go, it's going to be mid to upper 80s in the mountains, approaching 97 degrees up towards Salmon. But for everybody else, again, mid to upper 90s and well approaching 100 degrees, especially as you get further southwest of the state. 6 to 10 day precipitation and temperature outlook does have an at least favorable of chance as far as kicking off August of just above normal chances for some temperatures, but as far as precipitation goes as well, do have that bullseye certainly centered over the Great Basin and kind of central Rocky Mountain area, and that will kind of shift north at least for a little bit greater of leaning above, but that likely above looks to stay as far as precipitation above normal just south of our region, but this is in fact of the monsoonal moisture as it kind of takes a further northern progression for early next week. 8 to 14 has temperatures returning to near normal conditions, with again just a chance for some at least lingering monsoonal moisture August 3rd through 9th. Outside of that, it looks like fairly near normal precipitation and temperature for the start of August. In summer this morning, do that warm weather continuing through the start of August. What that means is going to be afternoon highs in the upper 80s to near 100. So it won't be as far as seeing those excessive heat warnings or heat advisories down here in southeast Idaho, but as far as the temperatures up to around 100 degrees, especially as you get further southwest in the Magic Valley. Winds will remain light every single day outside of some thunderstorms, and with those thunderstorms, we do have the isolated chance for today, mainly in the central mountains and working out of the Snake Plain possibly, but those become more scattered for Thursday, where we have a fire weather watch in effect for the central mountains and southeast highlands. Main concern on that's just going to be lightning and starting of some new fires potentially in some of those areas as a mix of wet and dry thunderstorms increase the fire start risk. Monsoonal moisture arrives for next week with increasing chances for scattered showers and thunderstorms, beginning as isolated storms on Monday, looking a little bit more widespread as we get towards midweek with cooler, more seasonable temperatures. Could be approaching some slightly below normal levels by midweek. We'll be keeping a close eye on that for you. And that wraps up your weather briefing for today, Wednesday, July 27th. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to send us an email, give us a call, or check out some information on our website. Have an awesome day.